Good afternoon, students. Today in this video, we are going to know about boiler mountings, how the boiler mounting works upon the boilers. See, coming to the first boiler mounting, we are going to know about water level indicator. See here, coming to the water level indicator, we can observe here that inside the cylindrical shell we are having half of the part we are having water, and half of the part we are having steam. See this, the steam and water are inside the boiler shell, and this is the water water level indicator arrangement. This is the water level indicator arrangement which we can observe here. We are having some components of water level indicator, that we are having glass tube. The glass tube is inside a shield covered, which is used to protect the glass tube. The shield is used to protect the glass tube, and we are having a rectangular passage here. Inside these rectangular passages, we are having the lower tube and upper tube are connected inside these rectangular passages, and water is flowing inside this glass tube, and the steam also is used to pass into this glass tube through the upper valve, and the water is going to flow into this glass tube through this lower tube. When the valve 1 has been opened, the steam from the boiler shell is entered into the upper tube, and from the upper tube it enters into the glass tube, and the water from the lower tube is enters into the glass tube. Half of the part of the glass tube is having water, and the remaining half is having steam. This is about the water level indicator components which we are using here. That here we are having valve 1, valve 2 and valve 3. The valve 3 is always in a closed position. It is used for cleaning purpose of this water level indicator. Whenever cleaning purpose is required for this water indicator, we are going to open this valve 3. And valve 1, when valve 1 opens, the steam is going to be entered into the glass tube, whereas when valve 2 has been opened, water is going to be entered into the glass tube. See here, when sometimes the glass tube which we are having here is used to break. Whenever it is going to break, see the rectangular we are having here the steel ball. The steel balls are used to operate the steam as well as water in the tubes without getting any problem. That if the glass tube, even though glass tube has been broken, by using of these balls we are going to control the steam as well as water here. This is what about the feed water. It checks the feed water indicator is used to give the accuracy value that how much of steam and water is provided in the boiler shell. This is what about the arrangement of water level indicator which we can observe. And coming to here, see the difference between this first diagram and second diagram is that in the first diagram we cannot observe that the steam has not passing into the tubes, but here the steam, when the steam is going to be entered, say how the steam is going to be entered into the glass tube, I have shown you here. The inlet valve 1 has been opened, and the steam from the boiler shell is entered into the glass tube, and when the steam valve 2 has been opened, the water is going to be entered into the this glass tube. This half part is contained water, and the remaining part is contained with the steam. This is what how the steam and water is going to be entered into the glass tube. And coming to here third diagram, that whenever the water tube which is placed here has been broken, the steel balls which we are having in a rectangular box, upon the rectangle what are the steel balls which we are having is controlled the steam which is coming out from the boiler shell and the water which is coming out from the boiler shell, it is going to be controlled without without the these without the shield or glass tube. We can control by using of the steel balls here in the water level indicator. See, this is what the diagram of a water level indicator which we can observe here. This is the water level. It is showing the water level. By using of the water level indicator, we are going to observe that how much of water is maintained in the boiler shell and how much steam is maintained in the boiler shell. See, this is the boiler pit which I have shown you in the diagram, and this is the upper hollow casing and this is the lower hollow casing, and this is the steel balls. This is a passage to stop here, and this is a metallic tube, hard glass tube, and these are the cocks. This is about the water level indicator. I have shown you here about the water level indicator, how it works in for showing how much water and steam is in the boiler shell. See here, coming to the working of water level indicator, what working of water level indicator or water gauge is very simple. When the cocks are open here, we can observe the valves are also named as the cocks. We can name these valves as cocks. See here, when the cocks are open, boiling water and steam from the boiler shell flow into the hard glass tube and maintain the same levels as in the boiler, which is visible to operate. See here, whenever the valve 1 means cock 1 and cock 2 are open, the steam and the water is going to be entered outside, is going to come into the glass tube and maintain certain level. See here, when the water level falls down beyond a safe limit, operator may switch on the feed pump to fill more water in the boiler shell. See here, whenever the water level in the boiler is beyond the safe limit, means when the water level is going to be decreased in the boiler shell, the feed pump is used to fill water into the boiler shell. See, in the water and steam passage, in the gunmetal tubes, a metal balls dressed in the cavity made in the passage. See, I have shown you here that metallic tube. We are having steel balls. Whenever this boiler plate has been broken, our glass tube is going to be broken here. Glass tube is broken. By using of the steam balls, we can control the steam and water which is going to be entered out into the glass tube. See here, when the water level falls down beyond a safe limit, operator may switch on the feed pump. And coming to her, in case of breakage of a glass tube by accident, water and steam contained at high pressure in the boiler rush with the high speeds towards broken glass due to large pressure difference between inside and outside of the boiler. Due to pressure differences in the inside and outside of the boiler, if the breakage of glass taken place, means we can control by using of these steel balls. And coming to here, due to this, the ball resting in the cavity made in the passage lifts and rushes towards the end of the gunmetal tube and blocks the passage of steam or water level. Then immediately the cork can be closed and glass tube can be replaced safely. See here, we can, these two corks are going to be closed and we can replace these water tube here. See, this is what about the feed water level indicator, how it works in the boiler. And coming to safety valve, we can observe here a lever. See, this is the valve 1 and this is the valve 2 and this is the valve sitting, which we can observe here. This is the valve sitting which we can observe here, and this is the valve which we can observe here. The black color portion is nothing but of the valve, and this is the white color portion is nothing but of wall seat. This is the spring, and the pressurized stream from the out, if the pressurized stream enters or saturated stream which has been entered into this U-tube shape is pressurized into two ways. After entering the steam into this valve, it is going to be entered into two different passages. See, if the flow is said to be overload, then the valves are going to move upwards and the spring is going to be move up. See, we can observe here that as shown in figure, it consists of two openings or wall seats which are closed by two walls attached at a single lever. By using of single lever, we are having two wall seats. And coming to here, the lever is pivoted at one end and attached to a spring at the middle. See here, it is attached to one end and at the middle part is attached to the spring here. The spring is fixed at the bottom end with the overall body of the valve. Due to spring force, the lever and hence valve remains seated on the valve seats and do not allow the steam to escape. See here, due to spring force, the lever and hence valves remain seated on the, see here, this is going to be seated on the valve. See here, due to spring force, the lever and hence valves remain seated on the valve seats and do not allow the steam to escape. For not escaping the steam into the atmosphere, these valves are seated here. And here, when the pressure force of the steam exceeds the spring pulling force, when the pressure force of steam exceeds the spring pulling force, valve and lever are lifted and steam escapes, thus decreasing the pressure below the safe limit. See here, we can observe when the pressure limit increases, the steam is going to pass in two different ways. Whenever the pressure increases, the lever is going to lift upwards and the steam is going to escape outside. See here, when the pressure forces of steam exceeds the spring pulling force, means if the steam exceeds the spring pulling force, what is happening? Valve and lever are lifted. Valve and lever, see here, lever and valve are both are going to be lifted and the steam escapes and the steam is going to escape outside, thus decreasing the pressure below the safe limit. On decreasing the pressure, valves sit again on their seats and thus stop the steam flow from the boiler. Again it comes into its real position. After escaping the gases outside, it again comes into the main position, that the valve and levers are going to be sit on the same positions. This is what about the safety valve. Safety valve means nothing but of it used to control the steam which are going to escape outside to the atmosphere. Due to high pressure developed, the steam more than that of the spring loaded, the steam is going to be escaped into the atmosphere. When the pressure load is increased, the lever and valves are moved upward and the gases or the steam is going to be entered outside. This is what about the safety valve. And coming to here, fusible plug. See here, the fusible plug is used to protect the boiler against damage due to overheating. See here, in the boiler, due to overheating, the boiler is used to damage rarely. Whenever for protecting the boiler from the damage, we are using here the fusible plug here. By using of this plug, we can control or we can made easy without damaging of the boiler. See, overheated by low water level in the boiler. If we are going to maintain a low level water in low level in the boiler shell, see, overheating is going to be done in the boiler and see, the boiler is going to be damaged. Without damaging, for controlling the damage of the boiler, we are using here this fusible plug. It is fitted in the crown of the furnace or firebox at the appropriate place. This is what the construction. This is the halogen gun metal body here and this is the halogen gun metal body too. This is the crown plates we are having here, and this is the fusible black color which is showing here is the fusible metal, and in between this fusible metal inside a conical shaped is nothing but of halogen metal body. See here the construction of fusible plug is shown in figure, which consists of two halogens and one conical plug. This is the conical plug here. The halo plug A having hexagonal flanges. See here we can show the shape as in the hexagonal is screwed to the firebox. See, this is screwed to the firebox which we are having here. The plug B gunmetal plug is screwed to the body A. This B is plugged to the body A. The third plug C is up of copper, is locked with the copper metal, is made up of copper. See, this is the body in a conical plug is made up of copper, is locked with the plug B metal like tin or lead, which has low melting point. This is what about the construction of the fusible plug. See here, the fusible plug is fully immersed in the water. See the dotted lines which I represent, which I am showing here is nothing but of water. The fusible plug is fully immersed inside the water. See here, halogen metal body. See, it means nothing but of a conical shaped plug, and these two are the metal bodies, halogen metal bodies, and this is the fusible metal, and this is the crown plate. The full body is fully immersed in the water. See here, we can observe the working principle. In the normal conditions of the boiler, the fusible plug is fully submerged underwater. We can observe here, it is fully submerged inside the water. When the water level falls below the fusible plug, see here, the water level is going to decrease here. The water level has been decreased here below the fusible plug. The plug gets uncovered from water, means the water, it is not covering the water. As it is not covering the water means we can understand that the water level is going to be decreased. The upper portion of the plug get exposed to the steam space. We are having above, we are having in the steam boiler, we are having below the water, and above we are having the steam. The upper portion of the plug, this is the plug which is exposed to the steam which is having in the upper portion. The steam cannot keep the plug cool, as the plug is not inside, is not immersed in the water shell in the water. Hence it is going to get it is exposed to steam space, and it is going to get some heat. See, the plug gets uncovered from water. The upper portion of the plug gets exposed to the steam phase. The steam cannot keep the plug cool. As it is exposed to the steam, the plug cannot be cool. This will overheat the fusible metal. Means the fusible metal is going to be overheated here. The plug C falls down along with the fusible metal, making a hole. Making a hole here due to this pressure and temperature which has been developed due to this uncovered material or uncovered fusible plug due to the steam. This is going to be exposed to the high temperature, and by making a hole, the plug and fusible metal is going to be dropped downward into this water. By making a hole, this is going to drop into the water. Steam and water being under pressure immediately, the steam and water being under pressure immediately reach the firebox and extinguish the fire. See, after these fusible plug and fusible metal enters down, these are going to decrease the pressure at the firebox and extinguish of the fire, and hence we are going to control the damage of boiler due to this fusible plug. See here, we can observe that when water in the boiler is at its normal level, fusible plug remains submerged in water, and its temperature does not exceed its melting temperature because its heat is transferred to water easily. See, we can observe here that if the fusible plug is submerged fully in the water itself, what is happening here? the fusible plug remains submerged in water and its temperature does not exceed. As the fusible plug, as this fusible plug is fully immersed in water, it does not exceed the melting temperature because its temperature is transferred to the water. If under some unwanted condition, water level comes down to unsafe limit. If it is going to decrease the water level in the boiler shell, what is happening? The boiler is going to be damaged. Fusible plug is exposed to steam in place of water. On the other side, it is exposed to fire. So its temperature exceeds its melting point due to very low heat transfer to steam and it melts down. See, if the water level is going to be down, the steam, see here the fusible plug which we are having is exposed to the steam and it is going to increase the temperature. And if it is going to increase the temperature, it makes a hole, and the fusible metal as well as the fusible plug are going to be dropped downward here. Immediately steam and water under high pressure rush to the firebox and extinguish the fire. This is what about the fusible plug, how we are using here in the boiler, that to control the damage of the boiler due to high temperatures. This is what about the fusible plug. And coming to the burden pressure gauge, see here the pressure gauge we already knows. We already observed in the different boiler, when we are studying different types of boilers, we have observed the pressure gauge, how it works. That pressure gauge is used to increase, is to show that how much pressure is maintained in the steam. This is the glass tubed bottom type pressure gauge, which we can observe here. And in the bottom type pressure gauge, we are going to know the working principle, construction, working, advantages and disadvantages. See here the working principle here, how the working principle is that inside the dial gauge, see we are having a U-tube shaped, see button tube, U-tube shaped button tube, how it is working. See, the shape of the button tube is somewhat downward, and after the working has been takes place, it is going to extend or it is going to move somewhat upward. This is the construction that when the steam is enters into the pipe, see this is the pointer, this is the C-type button tube, and this is the sealed. One end of the button tube is connected to this pointer. See this is, see we can observe here the adjustable link. One end is connected to the adjustable link, and this is the rack, and this is the pinion. This is the pointer. See this is the pinion and pinion. This is the pointer and segmental lever. This is the segmental lever, and this is the rack, and this is the adjustable link. See, whenever the water is flowing from the pipe, whenever the steam is going to be flow into this pipe, the adjustable link moves somewhat upward, and it is going to show the pressure in the system or pressure in the steam. See here, when the steam is going to be entered into the button pressure tube, how it increases or how it is going to be. The adjustable link is going to be increased, move somewhat upward, and the pointer moves somewhat in the forward direction. See here, the steam is going to be entered inside the bottom tube. When the steam has been entered, how this adjustable link has moved somewhat upward, downward, and how this pointer, how this pointer moves from the starting position to the ending position. Means when the steam is going to enter into the bottom tube, the pointer shows the pressure inside the steam of the boiler shell. See, this is the after the lever adjustable link moves somewhat upwards. See how the value is showing in the pressure gauge. This is what the working of pressure wave, that the applied pressure acts on the inner walls of the Button tube. See here, from here the steam enters inside the tube. The applied pressure acts on the inner walls of the Button tube. These are the inner walls. Due to the applied force, the Button tube tends to change cross-sectional from elliptical to circular space. Before the steam enters, the shape of this Button tube is in the ellipse shape. After the steam is going to be entered into this Button tube, it is going to change its shape as circular shape. This tends to straighten the Button tube. This tends to straighten the Button tube, causing a displacement of the free end of the Button tube. Means it is this adjustable link is going to change that displacement from here to here. Means as it is when the steam is not entered, then it is at this position, and the steam is going to be entered into the Button tube. The displacement is going to be changed of the Button tube, as the free end of the Button tube is connected to a link. Is a section pinion arrangement. The displacement is amplified and converted into rotary motion of the pinion. As the pinion rotates, it makes the pointer to assume a new position on a pressure calibrated scale. Means here we can observe that whenever it moves the displacement, the scale indicates means the pointer moves towards the forward direction and indicates the pressure which is in the steam. This is what about the Button tube. Before the steam enters into the Button tube, see, it is going to be in a straight position and elliptical position, and after the steam is going to be entered into the Button tube, it changes the position and the displacement. See, one end of the tube is connected to gauge connector here, and the other end is closed and free to move. So we can observe here, free to move. A needle is attached to the free end of the tube through a small gear mechanism. With the movement of tube under pressure, needle rotates on the circular scale. The movement of tube and hence needle is proportionate to rise in pressure and so calibrated with the scale. This is what see here, the pressure gauge connector is connected to the boiler shell through a U-tube and three-way cocks. In U-tube, see here, we can observe here in a U-tube shape, U-shaped. In U-tube, condensate remains filled and so live stream does not come in direct contact of Button tube, but it pushes or exerts pressure on the condensate which further stretch Button tube. Steam is not allowed a direct contact with the gauge due to high temperature effect on the pressure recording. The three-way cock is used to give an entire connection for inspector's pressure gauge. This is what about the working principle of Button tube pressure gauge. See here, the pressure gauge, how it moves from the starting point and how it shows the pressure of the steam. The working principle, construction and working and advantages and disadvantages. See here, whenever the pressure, the steam is not entered, when the steam has not been entered into the Button tube, see the pointer is at the position of 0. Means the Button tube is somewhat down. And coming to here, when the steam is going to be entered, the steam is entered into the tube. See, somewhat see, Button tube is going to be increased, move upward. See here, this is the construction. The pointer which we can show means pointer which shows when the pressure is going to be increased, the pointer is going to increase its value. Means when here the blue color indicates that the steam is going to be entered inside this Button tube. When the steam is going to be entered here, the pointer moves somewhat upward and the adjustable link moves this Button tube somewhat up, and the pointer shows how much pressure is inside the steam. See, this is the working principle, that the steam, this burden tube is connected one end to the adjustable link and one end to this pump. See here, this is the starting position, that when steam is not entered into this burden tube, the position of this burden pressure tube is somewhat like this. And if the pressure has been entered, means it is going to increase, and the adjustable link is going to move somewhat forward direction, and the burden tube also moves upward direction, and the pointer shows the value, means it starts from 0 to the pressure of the steam. It shows the indicator how the value of the pressure inside the steam. This is what about the working principle of the pressure gauge, how it is working here. In this video, we have learned about the boiler mountings of water level indicator, as well as safety valve and the fusible plug, and in the remaining, and about the burden pressure gauge. And in the remaining classes, in the next classes, we are going to learn different mountings, boiler mountings. Thank you. నీకోసమే